This is the sports stuff section brought to you by yours truly. We've got a hell of a show for you guys today. First, we've got it's NCAA football wrap up for you. The Colorado Buffaloes continued their 2023 campaign as they took on Nebraska Cornhuskers. It was their season opener at home, their first game at Folsom Field under the Coach Prime era. For context here, the CU-Nebraska rivalry has always been a real staple for Buffs fans, and a win for Coach Prime would have certainly swayed a lot of the remaining skepticism about him and his play style and how he runs the program. While the first quarter certainly started slow, CU and Shedeur Sanders really quickly picked it up, closing out the half 13-0 and finishing the game 36-14 with a very good win. Xavier Weaver was the leading receiver with 170 yards and a touchdown, with a couple very good highlight plays, and Shedeur Sanders throwing nearly 400 yards. So that's almost 900 yards in 2 games. It's absolutely incredible. Looking at the other side of the ball, Jeff Sims, the dual threat quarterback from the Cornhuskers, who scored a 50-plus yard rushing touchdown, was 2 turnover prone, leading to several fumbles and an interception. Nebraska, accordingly, just never really got it going. CU football will be taking on in-state rival CSU, Colorado State University, at Folsom Field again at home for the first time in 9 years. Normally, the battle for Colorado takes place at Mile High with Broncos play, so it'll be interesting to see if home field advantage, especially with a sellout and fervent crowd, can be as intense as last week. The other leading college football story of the week, we had Texas and Quinn Ewers upsetting Alabama. Texas, who was trailing 13-16 going into the fourth quarter, turned on the gas and scored 21 points in clutch time to take the win. One major contributor to the victory was Texas's defense, bolstered by 2 picks. Jalen Milroe, the quarterback for Alabama, also struggled with several pre-snap penalties, which would stifle momentum as well. Simply put, it doesn't look like it's Alabama's year, and with Arch Manning waiting in Texas, it seems like the future to me is less orange and more red. Excuse me, less red and more orange. Our second story of the night, which took place last night, Aaron Rodgers, the star quarterback of the New York Jets, suffered a serious injury in his debut game with the team on Monday. He was playing against the Buffalo Bills at home, and on the 4th play of the entire game, he got sacked by Bills edge rusher Leonard Floyd and just fell kind of awkwardly on his left ankle. He stood up and then immediately sat back down, knew something was wrong, and did not return to the game, was promptly ruled out. The Jets head coach Robert Saleh said after the game that they feared Rodgers suffered a torn Achilles tendon, saying it's not good. An MRI today confirmed that Rodgers did in fact tear his left Achilles and will miss the rest of the 2023 season. The Achilles tendon, for context, is a strong band of tissue. It's like kind of connects the heel bone and the calf. You know, there's a reason why they call it the Achilles tendon, right? This is a big deal. Rodgers, who is 39 years old, was traded to the Jets in the offseason after spending 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, where he won 4 MVP awards and 1 Super Bowl. He was expected to lead the Jets to a very significant playoff run and possibly a championship with a lot of the other major free agent pickups they had this offseason. And this injury is just kind of a huge blow. For context here, about 25% of athletes, when they get this type of injury, just do not even ever come back to sports. And for those that do return, it takes about 11 months as the average recovery time. So considering this happened at the beginning of the season, it's not looking fantastic for Aaron Rodgers. With that said, Zach Wilson, who subbed in and was the previous starter last year, really actually performed. While he did also start off slow, the Jets were able to come back and win 22-16 with an overtime after a punt return for a touchdown by Xavier Gipson. So an all-around good win, but the emotions were certainly sucked out of the stadium after such an amazing kind of pregame performance from Aaron Rodgers, hyping up the crowd, and then just suddenly all of the air being taken away out of that life. And lastly, shifting over to the baseball world, we had the Braves clinching their path to the MLB postseason on Sunday, defeating the Pirates 5-2. They became the first team to secure a playoff spot this season after winning their 6th straight game and improving their record at 93-49. They also extended their lead over the second-place Phillies to 15 games in the NL East division. So it's looking very confident that they will be taking that as well. This was a great game, to be honest with you. The Braves trailed 2-1 in the 7th inning, but rallied with 4 runs to take the lead. The key hit came from Ronald Acuna Jr., who delivered a 2-run single over the center field's head with 2 outs and the bases loaded. That kind of describes the Atlanta Braves season in a nutshell for you. Their ability to go perform offense out of basically nothing serves them well. He finished the game with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Rookie Alan Winans started for the Braves and pitched 6 1/3 innings, allowing 2 runs and 6 hits while striking out 8. That's all we got today for the sports stuff section. I'm going to take it back to IRL for who's going to take it to Luga and Mike for who's active right now.